And now, Journey to Success with Pete Asmus. Tonight, mindset to action steps and everything in between. We are about you, focusing on what you need to get to that next level. So get ready, get excited, because we are about to get started. From coast to coast, your host, Pete, the visionary pitbull, Asmus. There we go, man. Welcome, everybody. Welcome so much. I'm glad you guys are here tonight. It is Sunday, July 13th. We are in, month 7? We're almost out of month 7 into month 8 right now. This is Journey to Success. I'm going to be your host tonight. My name is Pete Asmus. I'm going to be the Green Lantern tonight for all of you guys watching live. So that's going to be awesome. Because I feel like right now I want to prove a point. I want to show you guys the difference between verbal and nonverbal communication. Because the reality is there a difference? You know, what is the impact, right, of nonverbal communication? Well, let's look at it from this simple standpoint real quick. When you look at radio, how much effect does radio have on our life, right? How many of you guys actually listen to live radio right now, besides our show that we do on Bloomberg, right? The chance is not many, because the thing, where do we get most of our entertainment? We get them from movies. We get it from TV, right? We get it from all these different sources, because there's so many other inputs that we can have when we talk about nonverbal communication. So there's going to be a wide and a big platform for me to talk about tonight. There's also some other things that I'm going to be talking about, some of the things that we're doing, some things that are starting to come together, and some opportunities that you guys can have to become involved. And to really kind of take your life to the next level. Because in all reality, when you talk about success, right, it's about taking your life to the next level. Success is about reaching that point that you want to get to, right? It's about conquering fear. It's about all kinds of different things. I had a conversation today with one of my mentees, and we were talking, and I asked her, I said, well, what do you want to do? She's like, well, I don't want to be working where I am. I go, okay, great. Well, what do you want to do? Well, and I'm like, hold up. That's why you're working where you are right now. Right there. It's that simple. When I ask you, what do you want to do? And it takes you more than 3 seconds to start saying what it is that you truly want to do, you don't even know. You're not even moving in a direction right now. You literally are standing there going, I don't know. I just don't want to be here. I don't want to be right here. Okay, well, you don't want to be there, but where do you want to be? There's no way for anybody around you to help you get where you want to go if you don't even know where you want to go, right? So we start talking about all this kinds of things, and I think one of the big roadblocks that people have is we set limitations on ourselves. And what I mean by that is we look at what we've done in the past. We look at what we feel comfortable doing, and then we look at the road that it's going to take to get there. And it seems like, oh man, I want it right now. I want it right now. I want it right now. In fact, we had a conversation today on Thinking to Succeed on our 11 o'clock call, Dennis's call. And it was all about, I want to have it now, but in no way sometimes are we ready to have it. Like some of you want to be, well, I want to own my own company. I want to manage people. I want to do this. I want to do that. But you're not doing anything to get ready and to prepare for that, right? Luck is just preparation meeting opportunity. Listen to that. It's preparation meeting opportunity. And a lot of times, man, we just don't understand what that means. We think, well, that's just Pete saying his thing. But it isn't just that. Because the reality is, if you look at all the things that I've been doing over the last year, if you've just been paying attention to what we do and kind of the different things that we're doing, you will know that we have grown leaps and bounds over where we were a year ago. We've grown, but we couldn't have done that all overnight. There's no way for us to get where we are. You have to grow into it. You have to start becoming it. You have to start believing it, right? And you have to do it. And one of the ways that you can do it, the simplest way, is to write your goals every day. Write your goals every day. You just write your goals. I mean, it's this simple. You write your goals every day. You see what I mean? it's like, and now here I am. This is today is where I got to write today's goals. But when you go back, look at this. When you're looking at this, it all looks the same. All these are my goals. Now, why is that important? It's important because if I don't know where I want to go, it's impossible to get there. Like earlier when I asked my mentee, I said, what do you want to do instead? What do you want to do out of your life? And there was no answer. And the thing about it is, if we don't know where we want to go, we're going to be real frustrated that we're not getting where it is. We're going to be real frustrated that we're not able to get to that next location. But what are we doing to change that? This is what really frustrates me, is that people want a different life, but they're not willing to do different things to get that. They're not willing to take steps. They're not willing to sacrifice. Well, what does sacrifice mean? Well, sacrifice doesn't mean not doing what you already don't want to do. That's not what sacrifice means. Sacrifice means giving up things that you really do like doing. And that's the hard part. That's where everybody gets challenged. That's where it's like, well, I don't want to give that up, and I don't want to give that up, and I don't want to give that up. Well, okay, well, then you're exactly where you want to be. Well, no, I'm not. Well, you're not doing anything different. You know, you've got to start doing different things. So I've come up with some different stuff that we can do tonight. We've got a task list. We've got all kinds of different stuff that we're going to be talking about. But the reality is, questions are the key to unlocking your reality. Listen to what I'm saying. Questions. Those are the key. Why are those the key? They're the key because questions are what you use to evaluate anything. Questions are what you use to determine if something's good, if something's bad. Should you do it? Should you not do it? Are you capable of doing it? All these things are questions that we ask ourselves. And the questions that we ask ourselves determine what we feel we can do. It determines what we feel is possible. So if we want to start changing the direction, if we want to start changing the capabilities within ourselves, if we want to start becoming a green lantern, then we need to start asking different questions. Now, the cool part is we can do this at any moment. And all you have to start doing is asking questions. Well, what would that person do? I've been talking a lot about becoming a version 2.0. I like that. The version 2.0. What does that mean? It means we obviously know when you say version 2.0, you know that's up a level from what? Well, up a level from version 1.0, right? Up a level from what you started with. You're up. And that's what we need to do consistently every single week, is grow, is get higher, is change, is evolve. And part of those things is going to be through doing things. Some of them we're going to like doing. Some of them are not going to be fun. When you write your goals down every single day, sometimes it's going to be boring. Sometimes it's going to get monotonous. Sometimes you're not going to want to do it. But that's why we changed it to being at night instead of in the morning. So you weren't being rushed. You could take more time. Because if you're going to design your life, if you're going to go on a journey to success, then you need to have the wherewithal. You need to start focusing on what you want to do. I'm going to tell you right now, the next book I'm writing, because this book right now, Questions Are the Key, is now being edited out. So it's done being written, which I'm excited about. And there's a few people on here. I mean, we've got 34 people now. There's a few people on here that are going to be getting some of the rough cuts of that book and help me evolve that book. But the next one we're going to write is going to be the step-by-step manual. And so instead of having chapter 1 and chapter 2, I'm going to have step 1, step 2, step 3. I'm going to tell you right now, goals are going to be right in the first steps, because you've got to know where you're going. And the goal program, like we built the 21-day challenge, is free. It doesn't even cost anything. So why is it that people still won't do something that's free? Why is it when you know something is right, you know something is good? Think about this. Let me ask this. How many people this week have learned something and haven't applied it? What have you guys learned in the last month that you haven't applied? Okay, whoever's on the phone, you've got to mute yourself. You've got to mute yourself, bud. Or hang up if you can't mute yourself. But I can hear you, and that's super distracting. So if you can please mute. Thank you. All right, where was I at? Let's see. What was I talking about? Sorry about that. It's I'm just not used to hearing things in my ear when I'm talking, and I don't expect to have somebody talking back to me. Goals. Okay. If it's free, that's right. So if it's free, if we know it will help improve our life, if we know it will get us to the next level, if you know that writing down where you want to go will help you get there, why is it that we don't do it? If we know that, that it's like on the Thinking to Succeed project in phase 3, we're putting in a question thing where you have somebody call you and ask you questions. We know this will impact our life in a positive way. We know it only takes 2 minutes to do. We know these questions have to be yes, no, or a number, scale of 1 to 10 questions. Yet it's still a hard decision to make because it's a super big change. Even though it's something very small, it's still something where every day I'm going to have somebody calling me. I have to call somebody else, ask them these questions, and I've got to sit there and say yes, no, or a number. And I think we're gonna kind of do a little morph on that this week as one of our tasks. But I want you guys to start thinking about what questions should you ask yourself every day to improve your life. Meaning, question 1 should be, I think it should be, am I a better person today than I was yesterday? Because when it comes down to it, it's all about you and I. We've got to become better. We've got to become better at what we do. I'm having my girls. I mean, it's not even, this is weird. I didn't even think about this. So on my goals for the last, I don't know, month, I've been writing everybody around us, or I'm sorry, in the last 4 or 5 days. I don't know specifically, but 4 to 5 days, I started writing that everybody around us, I used to write everybody around us is going to donate 1 day a month to charity. So anybody that's close to me that I know personally, that I talk to on a regular basis, all of those people will be donating 1 day a month to charity because that's the kind of people I want to be around. That's the type of people I want to surround myself with. The other thing I wrote was, and I just started adding this in, was they'd also write their goals every day. I believe that much in it. I write my goals. I post them on Facebook. I do everything I'm telling you guys to do. I believe in it so much that I want everybody around me to do it as well. So this is why I feel that this is really strange. For the last 3 days, my girls have been writing their goals. Now they're 5 and 6. Now, I can understand how you guys have a problem maybe finding 5 minutes to write your goals. These girls don't even know how to write. They're copying what I write for them. They're telling me what they want to say, and then I'm writing it down. And then Haley just started phonetically writing out her own things. And they are starting to write down what they want. Now, if you listen, Haley, for the last, 2 or 3 weeks has said a tablet that sings Good Morning Red Bird, that knobby tablet or whatever it is. So one of the things that I started saying to her was, well, then how are you going to, look, you keep saying this. What are you going to do to generate money for it? Well, I don't know, Dad. What can I do? I said, well, you're doing the, you're having the charity event that you're doing in December, right? So maybe you can design something and half of the proceeds can go to that charity. And then half of the proceeds you can go to you, right? For doing that. And now all of a sudden, if you watch the daily morning videos, boom, they're saying that. They're talking about all the wristbands. And I mean, they're pimping everything because they want to get their goals. They're finding a way to make it happen. And the reason that is important is that you guys have to understand you have that same power. That same power is within you. By writing down your goals, you can write it into existence. It doesn't mean that if you write it, you can go sit down on your couch and sit there and all of a sudden, poof, magically, a genie is going to show up and you're going to get what you want. What it means is when you consistently write it down, you start bringing it into reality because you start doing things that person would do. And I talked about this before, and I think this is a really, really good analogy, and it's a quick one, so I'm gonna use this one. It's the lemonade stand. If you started writing down that I want to have a lemonade stand, 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 pretty soon you've got to start doing things that a person that had a lemonade stand would do. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you're going to have a lemonade stand, you're going to have lemonades, right? You're going to need cups, you're going to need sugar, you're going to probably need water. I don't know, you're probably going to need a table, some chairs. So you could start to organize those things. And you could start to, hey, well, I could use this chair and I could use this table and I could use these lemons and I don't have any sugar. So I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get them. You know what? I don't want to use granulated sugar. I'd rather use pure cane. I don't know, whatever. You're making up some kind of thing. You want to use, what's that? Sativa, right? Or sativ or stay. I forget what it's something that's it's a sweetener though. We have it downstairs. I always want to say Stevie, but it's not Steve, it's something like that. But it's a type of sugar that you can use instead of using granulated sugar. So maybe you go, I want to do that. And what you start to do, well, I'm going to have a green lemonade stand. I want it to be this and that. And you start to do this. And all of a sudden, you have all the ingredients that you need to have that lemonade stand. And now you can put it out in front and you can do these. But that's because you started taking actions that a person with a lemonade stand would do. So my question to you is, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? If you want to be, let's say, an actor, well, then you're going to need headshots and you're going to need this. And maybe you don't need it all right now, but you're going to need to start having acting classes and you're going to need to be in plays. If you wanted to be, anything, it doesn't matter what it is that you want to do. You've got to start thinking like that person. If you wanted to be a real estate investor, you're going to start to grow your network. Let me share with you this. If you want to be anything, you need to start to grow your network, period. Your network is going to be your net worth, not because everybody's going to give you money, but because that's where you're going to get the opportunities from. If you want more opportunities, increase the level of people that you know. And then once you start getting more people around you, you can start having a higher level of people. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, some of the people that you meet, they don't think big. They can't think past this or they can't think past that. And so all they're doing is they're like a crab in a bucket, just pulling you right back in, right? You don't want to be around those types of people. So you're going to start finding these different people that all of a sudden they lift you up. They're looking at you going, man, you can do this. You can do anything you want, because the reality is Scott can do anything he wants. Tommy, you can do anything you want. Trung, you can do anything that you want. You guys can build any dream that you have. But you have to start building it. You have to start seeing what needs to be done. Start doing little things. You don't have to eat an elephant one bite. It's not about that. It's about little tiny slivers. You're doing this and you do this and you do this and you do this and you do this. And all of a sudden, you've built what you want. But you've done it. Now, look, here's the thing. We're talking about nonverbal communication. For those of you that are on the phone, all you can do is hear my voice. You guys can't see. Not only can you not see the visual image that is on the computer, but you can't even see me and the way that I'm moving, the way I'm talking, or my facial inflections, my eyes, or any of that. You can't tell if I'm serious or if I'm joking. At least it's not as easy if you're just listening to it verbally, where when you see me physically, when you see my face, when you see what I'm doing, you can tell if I'm laughing, if I'm smiling, if I'm being intense, if I'm being caring, right? What is it that I'm showing as far as an emotion? The reality is a picture is worth 1,000 words. We hear that all the time. So if you want to impact those around you, if you want to start growing your network, what's one thing that you can do to start doing that? A picture is worth 1,000 words. Look, words are words. But if you could start taking pictures that are awesome of you doing things, whatever it is, and start creating memes, your own memes, right? Putting up your own quotes. Because here's what it is. Quotes show people what you think that you're capable of, right? If I write a quote and I quote myself, look, I think this is an awesome thing, and I'm going to show everybody what it is. And you're going to see two of my quotes, or maybe just one of my quotes later on in this. Why? Because I think that they're good. I know that they're good. I know that the emotional trigger it gives me when I hear it. So I know it works for other people. And the thing is I had to get past that roadblock of me thinking that nobody would care what I think. And look, I'm sure there's still people that are going to say, I don't care what you think. Well, great. I don't care if you care what I think. I'm not trying to reach you then. I'm looking to reach people that want it. There's a lot of people out there. I don't need to help everybody. Not everybody's going to like my personality. Not everybody's going to like my energy. Not everybody's going to like who I am. And I'm okay with that. And I'm still going to put myself out there. I'm still going to put my kids out there. I'm still going to give them every single opportunity that they can to do something different in their life. So that's why they do daily motivational videos. And they like doing them now. They enjoy doing those videos. We did one today. My gosh, it was supposed to be like 2 seconds. I was like, all right, let's just do one real quick. I'm not getting out of the car. Let's just do it. It was like 10 minutes and 30 seconds. And they just kept talking and talking and talking. It shows you where they've come from. I'm excited to see what they do in a year, how far they are in a year. I mean, we're working on a TV show. We're working on all kinds of things. And we're doing that because we believe in what we're doing. You've got to have passion. You've got to find your map. You want to find your map? Look, a map does what? A map gets us where we want to go, right? A map shows you a direction. You know what a map is an acronym for? It's your motivation, ambition, and passion. You want to find your map? Start writing your goals every day. Because when you write your goals, you see what you're passionate about. You see what you would be ambitious about. You see what would motivate you. You want to find your map? Start writing your goals. I know I'm really going into this, but because I don't see one thing that you can really accomplish in life without writing your goals every day. If you write your goals every day, you're going to get there that much faster. Yes, you may be able to attain some of your goals, but you're not going to be able to attain them in half the speed or with half the accuracy because you're going to forget about things. They're going to drop off. You're not going to remember things when you have the opportunity to. Like when you're in front of people and you're talking to them. You know, Kenneth is a really good example of this. He was talking about being at a party the other night with a bunch of people from Nigeria and Africa, right? And he was telling them all about the challenge. He was telling them all about writing down their goals so that they could take their life to the next level. At a soccer party. I mean, again, this is about talking and about sharing this information anywhere because everybody that you help is going to turn around and want to help you. Think about how grateful you will feel when you get help. Think about if you started writing down your goals right now, and in 21 days, one of those goals came true. How grateful would you be? What would you want to do? Would you want to try and help me do other things? Absolutely. So why wouldn't you want to give that gift to other people? Why wouldn't, look, there's no better connector than helping somebody get what they want. You want somebody to think you're awesome? Help them get what they want. See how fast they think that you're awesome. See how fast they want to help you do what you want to do. That's what Zig Ziglar meant when he said, when you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what they want. You'll get what you want. That's what he meant. He meant when you literally help them get their goals, they're going to turn around and do everything they can to help you get where you want to be because you took the time out to help them. That's why we do this call every single Sunday. That's why no matter what, I do this call. The one thing that I am more consistent with than anything is Journey to Success. I've done this for over a year now. I care about this call. I care about the people on the call. I care about changing your lives, helping you guys evolve and move to that next level, become the version 2.0, because you guys don't need January 1st. You don't. All you need is Monday. All you need is Monday. Monday is your new January 1st. Tomorrow. That's the day. That's why I love Journey to Success, because tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow is Make It Happen Monday. Tomorrow you get to be a new you. Tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your amazing life. And I'm going to tell you right now that it's amazing because this is how we roll. I love this song. It's awesome. Why would you not want to do this? It's all about getting your life up to that next level, about raising it up, right? And just taking off. Bam! I love this, man. It's about taking your life to the next level and becoming the version 2.0 of you. It's all about taking what you have. It's about being grateful 365. Being grateful for everything that you have, because when you can see the amazing gifts that you have, and I don't just mean like what you have physically, I mean what you have mentally, emotionally, those talents that you have that you're keeping inside, that you're not sharing with the world because you're embarrassed, because you're afraid somebody will look bad at you or look down on you, because you're afraid to let that gift go. I'm telling you, I'm giving you permission. I'm giving you permission right now to let that gift go. I'm giving you permission to become you, to be the authentic version of you, not a watered down version, but to start saying your emotions, your feelings, to start telling people how you feel, and to start becoming a better you. A better you cares about what other people think. A better you wants the people around them to be happy. Now, if you don't have the right people around you, it's time to start playing chess moves, baby, and move. It's time to move. You look at my goals in there. Look at, I'll show you guys. I thought Scott would get a kick out of yesterday's, but I'm stepping them up every single day because because that's how much I care about taking it to the next level. But I have right here, I live on the beach in Dana Point, and Scott Travis is my neighbor. We ride to work. Right there. Boom. We ride to work. And then I have Coast to Coast right up there. Coast to Coast owns our office building in Dana Point. Why? Because that's where I want to be. I want to be by the beach. I want to live in and be able to live life the way I want to. Now, right now, that's not possible, but that's okay. I'm going to keep writing it until it becomes a reality. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, that was scary writing that Scott Travis was my neighbor, because that's specific. I mean, that's not being vague. Like, I live in California and I love my house and I can see the water, right? Because that could be any water. That could be water at Canyon Lake. That could be water at the beach. That could be anything. But saying that I live in Dana Point on the beach, I can ride my bike to work, and I live next door, or Scott Travis is my neighbor, because I keep wanting to make it on my street, not my literal neighbor, just because, man, what if there's not two houses next to each other, right? Like, that's crazy. But then I think, how amazing will this story be when I can say, go back to Journey to Success, number 63, and look up, it's the one called Nonverbal Communication, and listen to me tell you that I was going to live next door to Scott Travis, and then have people over at my house going, that right there is Scott Travis. That's his house. This is where we live. And right down there, you see that building? We own that building, and that's where we go to work every single day. Because that is going to happen. It's going to happen. And it's going to happen within 3 years. So, ding, there you go. I put the timer on it, because let me tell you right now, a goal without a deadline is just a dream, right? If I don't say a time frame, if I don't say within 3 years, if I don't say within 2 years, if I don't say something like that, if I just say at some point, well, I could be 80 years old and we could live in Florida, Dana Point, Florida, right? And it could be some crazy old folks house, which is not what I want. I want to be living next to Scott, having fun and living our life, and really, really accentuating and living life to the fullest. I want all of us. I put on there that, I think Kenneth said something about he wanted to be on stage with the whole Thinking to Succeed group. And it's like, man, I need to put that on there too. Because I had speaking in front of 10,000 people. That's another goal of mine. I haven't spoken in front of 10,000 people. But I'm not going to be afraid or shy of my goals. They're not going to be your goals. Your goal may not be to speak in front of 10,000 people, or live in Dana Point, or to have your girls as, correspondents for Miss America 2015. By the way, that's in like 2 months. That was scary to write down. And if it doesn't happen, then what? Then do I stop? No. But that's what you guys start thinking. Well, it didn't happen, so it must not work. Are you kidding me? Just because one thing didn't happen didn't mean a myriad of other things didn't happen. And if they could happen within 1 month, those aren't goals. Real goals, man, those take a long time to accomplish, because there's a lot of little goals that you use to step up to that, right? And so that's part of the thing that we're talking about. If we go through here, you can check this out. So the 21-day challenge, it should be night. I got to change that to night. Every night you write down your goals. You take a notebook. I have a notebook like this that you can't, that's not a 3-ring binder. Here's something else. Let me show you this. These are my girls' goals, and they put them in here. And so there you go. 7-13. There's their goals. And we put it in something like this so that they could keep them. And like I said, they just started doing them. They started ripping them out. They thought that was funny, but it was not funny. So I had to put them all back in here, and they're not ripping them out anymore though. But these are their goal books. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, man, how cool is that? Madison goes into school in 2 months, right? And how awesome will it be when she goes to school and they're like, all right, well, we're going to start writing. And she's like, well, cool, because I can write out 4 sentences, and I can write a complete sentence where the rest of the kids are learning to write. This is what I mean by empowering the people around you, empowering your kids, getting them to write their goals every day. Man, the habits that we create in our kids determine who they become. I want my children to have the best opportunities that they could possibly have. And if I could teach them one skill set that could accomplish that, it's writing their goals every single day. when I started this habit and I started writing my goals, I wrote down I was on the radio 5 days a week. I wasn't even on a radio station. I didn't even have a clue how to get on a radio station. I mean, none of that. And July 3rd was the anniversary, the 1-year anniversary from when I called a radio station and just went, you know what, forget this. I'm just going to call one and find out how to do this because I'm sick of saying I want to do this. I'm going to do something to make it happen. And I'd written down, I'd been writing those goals down, right? So that's what I did. And now December 1st, we were on Bloomberg 5 days a week live from 10 to 11 a.m. And we're still on Bloomberg 10 to 11 a.m. You can go to c2cradiolive.com. You can go to c2creia.com/live. I mean, my gosh, I've got like 15 different websites now that will direct you to that, that live radio show that we do. Or if you live in California, you could tune into AM 1460 or AM 1510 from LA to San Diego or those radio stations, but we're really from LA to around the world. I'm sharing this with you because I think sometimes you guys just think it's easy for me, or you think it's easy for us, or you think it's easy for anybody that reaches something. And you know, it's like, oh, well, you're just an overnight success. And it's like, you don't realize the years of hard work that we put in. And that's one of the reasons I started Journey to Success is I wanted you guys to see this whole path. If you go back to the very first Journey to Success, you're going to hear a way different version than what we got going on now. You're not going to hear any kind of sound effects happening, right? I didn't have the ability to shoot anything and launch it and crash it. I didn't have the ability to tell you guys right now to, hey, put your fears. I want you guys right now to do this. Let's play a game. I want you guys right now to think of the thing that you want to do most and are afraid of. All right. The thing that you want to do most and you're afraid of. It could be like for me is going to the doctor and getting a checkup, right? I don't know why I'm freaked out about doing this. This is the whole reason why I haven't started that stupid questions, because I don't want somebody asking me, are you all caught up on your doctor's visits? But I know that that's something I have to do. And I know that if I go and I get checked out, right, that there's a possibility that I could have cancer or something like that. And if I get checked out, that if I get it caught early enough, that nothing bad happens. But what do? We avoid these things, right? And we avoid them and pretend it's not there and put my head in the sand, head in the sand, head in the sand, head in the sand. And then all of a sudden it's too late. Something bad happened. And now I've got, I don't know, something horrible, right? That I can't come back from that I could have prevented. And that's part of the reason why I'm sharing with you guys all this. I'm sharing with you some of my fears because I want you guys to realize that I'm human. I want you to realize that I'm just like you guys. I just have different issues. Right? I'm a freak when it comes to things, man. I am a perfectionist like you would not believe. You would not believe. If you look at any of my videos, you'll see I'll post a video, take it down, and then I'll spend another 30 minutes revising it until I'm like, okay, that's it. And boom, kick it back out. I have this horrible problem where I want to help everybody. And it doesn't matter. Like I could be at the grocery store talking to somebody and they start having a conversation. What do you really want to do? Like, that is always my first question. What do you really want to do? Because I don't think this is it. I don't buy you really want to work at the grocery store. I don't buy you really want to be at Walmart. I don't buy you really want to be a dental assistant. I don't buy you really want to do, I just don't buy it. So what do you really want to do? And that to me is the most interesting question in the world. The other best question that you could ever ask yourself is, now here, let me preface it this with something. You have to care about yourself first. All right. If you do not care about yourself, if you do not find value in yourself, if you don't think your word is worth anything, what I'm about to say won't make any difference because you'll lie to yourself. So the first thing that you have to learn to do to become successful is to not lie to yourself. And that's probably one of the hardest things that we have to do. Now, it does not mean that you don't look past things. It doesn't mean that you don't twist your reality to become real. It just means you don't lie to yourself. You don't sit there and go, you know what? I'm not fat. I'm not fat when you're fat, right? I'm right now, I'm fat to me. Okay. And I'm saying that because I'm over 180 pounds. And to me, I'm freaking out. And I know that. And so I'm using that word. That's a harsh word. I don't like that word. I hate that word. But I'm using it because I want it to have a negative impact on my psyche right now and go, man, you have got to change it. Because in the morning when I go, are you your best? I need to be able to go, no, and jump out of bed and go to the gym at 6 o'clock and stop goofing around. Because right now I've been slacking and I need to stop it. I don't like being where I'm at as far as weight goes. I used to be 260 pounds. And once I got down to 170, I said, I will never be that heavy again. And my red fire alarm is 180 pounds. If I ever hit 180 pounds, I lose my mind and I will start working out twice a day. I will start doing everything I can to get back on track. Because why? Because we're not perfect. Because when we go in a direction, right, we're constantly playing autopilot. We're constantly adjusting our position. You don't lose weight and then you're done. You don't go and do something and then you're done. That's a thing that we consistently forget, to go back to the basics. What made us successful? Why are we where we are? But we constantly do that, right? Oh, I don't need to do that anymore. Are you kidding me? Look at me, man. Come on, pop my collar. I'm all that. I don't have to do that. But because you don't have to do that, you sink right back and you wonder, how come you lost it all? Where did it all go? Because you didn't evolve, because you didn't stay with the basics, because you weren't grinding. Look, work is work. It may change. You may be able to get help, but the reality is you need to stay on top of what you're doing. You need to stay organized, and goals do that. 5 minutes every day will organize your life. I promise you, it will organize your life. Just check it out and do it. All right. So let's get into, this is the challenge. You guys can check this out. I'll post these up, but again, it's super easy, man. c2crea.com/21-day challenge. The real question is, are you ready to take your life to the next level? Are you ready to move it up and to take it back? Because if you are, then this is the next step for you. If you are, go and join the challenge. Look, life is a result of what you do consistently, of what you do every day. You fill in the last word, but the reality is life is a result. It's the result of what you do. It's the result. You don't like your life. That means you don't like the result of your actions. Change your actions. Change them. Change them. Right now, let's change them. Let's take that fear and let's set it out on the track, all right? Right next to you, everybody just set out your fear. It's okay. You're going to feel this. Don't worry about it. Set the fear right there to the side. And there we go. Everybody wipe off your eyes. Sometimes that stuff gets everywhere and nobody wants fear all over them, right? I mean, it just makes us look bad. And get rid of it. Become that new you. All right? That's what this is all about. The journey to success is the journey within yourself. It's the journey to find that happy person within you. It's the journey to find that balance. It's really the journey to become fulfilled. And that's why you see that on the very last goal I write every single day, bar none, is I am happy and fulfilled because I'm living my dream. That's what's going to make me happy and fulfilled, is living my dream. Does that mean that I'm not working? Hell no. I would go crazy if you told me I had to lay out on a beach all day. I like creating things. I like building things. I like creating these videos that I'm doing. I absolutely love. I love doing it. I love getting an emotional response. And I want to be known for doing that. So I'm doing and taking steps to become better at it, to practice over and over and over. And I'm making more videos and I'm working at it. And because I'm doing it more, I'm getting better at it, and I'm getting better at it faster. You guys can all do the same thing. Life can be like skiing. Have you ever been skiing before? The first time you ski, you kind of suck, right? But like within a day of skiing, it's like, oh, I could go downhill now. And if you literally were to ski day after day after day after day after day, like back to back to back, you would become outstanding compared to normal people within a couple of weeks. Because skiing is something that really evolves on itself. And the more you do it, the better you get at it, but really quickly, right? But the rest of our life could be like that too. In fact, it is. We just don't pay attention to the little things that we start becoming really good at. When you start a new task, right? Every time we do that, it takes X number of minutes to do it. When I started doing the videos over a year ago, it took me anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half to get the girls to do the video. So that was fun. Now, neither one of them were in school at the time, so it was no big deal, right? And thank God we got it down before Haley went into school. Otherwise, that really would have been a challenge. And I got to tell you, a couple days she was late to school because we were doing the video. And it was something that I wasn't going to let anything come in the part of her growing through that video. Now, yeah, she got a couple tardies. Yeah, that probably isn't as great as it should have been. But look at her now. I'm quite okay with a couple tardies. And because of it, it's evolved into all this other stuff that we're doing, to writing down your goals, to everything. All came from go make something happen. It all came from that. It all came from getting the idea of if you wanted something out of your life, then you had to go make it happen. Then you had to force it into reality, because nobody's going to come by, stop at your house, knock on your door, walk in and throw you a bunch of money and all the contacts that you need to make your dreams become true. You are going to have to go out there and grind and find them all. You are going to have to go out there and meet person after person after person and JV with this person. And Scott will tell you, and partner with this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy until you're like, I don't want any partners. This sucks. Until you finally find somebody that you're like, oh my gosh, this man, where were you all my life? Well, you're never going to find the right person if you don't sit there and look. If you don't look, life is a participation sport. It's definitely not a sideline. You could either be the quarterback or you could be the cheerleader. You can either build your dreams and quarterback them and call them and make them happen, or you can be over there just rah, 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 cheering me on to make my dreams come true. And I'm okay with that too. We all need cheerleaders. We do. And there are cheerleaders that all need a guide, that need a leader. Your family needs leaders. Your friends need leaders. I want to help build leaders. Do there need to be people that follow too? Absolutely. But it's not that I don't want to work with them. It's just I don't find it fun, I guess, for really lack of a better term. I'm going to be really honest with you here. I find enjoyment dealing with people that have aspirations. I find I get excited and want to help people that are killing themselves to help themselves. Dennis, for instance, Kenneth, for instance, Emily, they asked me for videos. So I'm going to do videos for them for $15. Just really what it cost me to actually get some of this stuff. And then my time, I'm basically donating for free. Why am I doing that? It's not like I have a bunch of extra time. But when I see people killing themselves to make it, man, I will do whatever it takes to help them. But if I see you over there sitting on the park bench going, man, this sucks, I don't know why nobody's helping me, I'm going to keep walking. Because I'm certainly not going to be the guy that stops and convinces you why you should help you. That's why goals are amazing. Because I don't know how to tell you how to get the drive and fire within you. I really don't. When I wrote Force Your Dreams into Reality, if you guys haven't read that, I promise you read that. It is such an awesome book. It's only 40 pages. The book I just wrote right now is 105 and it's not even done being edited. It'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 130. And then once we put it into a book form like this, it'll probably be somewhere in the 180 to 200 page book is what I just wrote. 180 to 200 page book. I couldn't even imagine writing something like that before. But I didn't just become an author. I slowly worked into it. I wrote posts, then I started writing blogs, then I started writing longer things. And then somebody said, well, why don't you write a book? And I thought I can't do that. And then they walked me through it. And now I want to walk other people through it. I want to help other people write a book because I think it was awesome. And I think it was fun. And the more I can be involved and help other people, the better it makes me, even if I'm giving away some of my best things. Like, anyways, the idea is you keep giving away all of your best ideas and you keep getting more. If I keep funneling and huddling and keeping and saving these great ideas, and I'm not sharing them with anybody because they're my ideas, and if I show you them, then you might take them, I'm not making any room for any better ones. And the reality is, since I've given away some of my other great concepts and names and things like, for Emily, I Shattering Extraordinary. I love that name. But I don't have any kind of brand that would fit with, really. But I love that name. I love shatter. I just love that word. So I gave that to her. And it's like, man, she's growing with it and she's making it hers and she's doing more with it than I could have. So don't you really want your ideas to have growth? I mean, the Thing to Succeed project, it's getting a legs of its own. That to me is amazing. So I'm going to keep creating the videos to drive people to see what it is. Look, you want to talk about amazing? Let's talk about this for a second. The Thinking to Succeed project, when I started it, I was going to do 3 months. That's it. It was $97 a month for 3 months. And all it was going to be was you writing down your goals twice a day and us having a call twice a week. That's it. And then I'd have a one-on-one call with you to get you started on how to write your goals. That was all I was going to do for $97 a month. That was, I figured that, this way, at least they'll take something seriously, right? Now this thing has turned into a monster. It's insane. The first phase, it's now 4 phases, not 3 months. It's 4 phases. It's $97 a month for 4 months. But as you hear me tell you, there's way more. It's more than 4 months long. I mean, it just is. So, or you can just pay $397 or whatever, and it's all done, right? Now, under $400 price tag for this, and I'll just say price because it's an investment. Really, is what it is. It's an investment in you. So, under $400 investment in who you are, and this is what we do. Phase 1 is all about changing the mindset so we can get you to start thinking differently. It's 30 days. At the end of phase 1, you have the opportunity to retake phase 1. Nothing, no different. I mean, it's $400 and that's it ever, right? So you can retake phase 1. Then you get popped through to phase 2. Once I want to go to phase 2. Phase 2, 30 days. Phase 2 is all about the body. So we go through different workouts that you can do. And so we're helping everybody start to become healthier. Because that's really, you want to become successful. You want to start to think to succeed. You need more energy. You want more energy. Start eating better. Start working out, doing a little bit of exercise. Start working into that, right? Phase 3 is 60 days, not 30, 60 days, right? So now we're already to 4 months, all right? And we're only in phase 3 still. Phase 3 is all about interpersonal communication, external communication. It's about how to really evolve your life. We're going to do things with yoga, meditation, the questions, right? Where we ask each other, anyway. So there's all kinds of different tasks that are in that phase. And then the final phase, because I felt like we had mind, body, and soul, right? We needed money. We needed finances because there's a lot of people out there that do not understand money. They don't understand credit. They don't understand the fact that when you go to Macy's and you get a Macy's card, it does not help you. It hurts you. They don't understand the fact that you want to get away from department store cards because any creditor looks at that. Can you do anything positive with a Macy's card? No, you can't. There's nothing in Macy's that you can do. You're buying retail, so you can't resell anything. Now, if you have a Home Depot card, right, that's home improvement. You could make money off of that, so it makes sense. Credit cards, Visa, Amex, all those make sense, right? But understanding that, in fact, if you guys want to know more about just credit in general, go to c2c.reia.com/credit, and you guys can watch. I think there's a thing to sign up, and there's also a video that I did. If you check it out, if you go on to c2crea.com, go in the search bar, type in credit, and look for the webinar we did on Experts Corner, or just type in search Experts Corner Merrill Chandler. Maybe that'll work too. But look for that webinar. It was amazing. I think it was like an hour and a half long. That's kind of the thing that started me off on doing these hour and a half webinars with people because I realized all the information we could get into. And it'll definitely change your outlook on what you can do. The other thing that Merrill does is he gives you guys a free credit evaluation to show you how to improve your credit as well. So it's really cool, but it's about taking that life to the next level. And I realized that finances were a big part of that. And so when you think about the Thinking to Succeed project alone, it's about 5 to 6 months alone. And then there's other things where we have you mentoring other people as you start to go through the phases, then you start helping other people that are going through the phase. Because if you really want to learn something, teach it. If you really want to understand it better, teach it. And if you wanted to really improve your life, why would you not want to do it better? That doesn't even make sense. So if that's what we're all about doing, then I'm going to turn you into a coach. Then I'm going to help you help other people. And at the same time, it's going to elevate your life to a level you've never even imagined. That's what the Thinking to Succeed project is all about. And we haven't even really talked about it publicly because we were building it. I think there's like 12 people that are the core people in this group so far. And if you're interested, I mean, yeah, you could join in and become, part of the first 20 people that are in this program. But we have it so that once we get it all dialed in, it'll end up being almost like an affiliate program where you can get other people to come in and then you can start to generate income off of sharing it because I don't care about the $97. I really don't. I'm not worried about that. I want to share the message with the world. So if I can start giving that $97 out as like compensation or bonuses or whatever, I don't know, like commission or whatever you would want to call it, then now I've built a system that gets the message out so people can change their life. Because again, I want to change people's lives. So I'm looking at any kind of platform that I can build that will actually create that environment. I need to create an environment for change. If you look at my goals, I wrote in there, Thinking to Succeed project has been written up twice in Forbes magazine because we are known as a platform for change. We are known as the best platform for change. And I write that every day because I want to be in Forbes magazine because of the Thinking to Succeed project. I want the Thinking to Succeed project to be one of the things that I'm known for because I want it to be that big. When you look at like Body by V, I want it to be that big. I want this thing to be worldwide. And I think I built a better product than anybody else built because my product is about getting you to the next level of you. It's not about giving you any kind of water. It's not about any kind of special anything. It's about you as a product, which means it can bolt on to any MLM. It can bolt on to any affiliate product. It can bolt on to any business that you're doing, whether it's REI, whether it's real estate investing, or whether like Hector, you have a cleaning service that you built, right? And you've got these things, or whether you're like Scott and you have a pool service, whatever it is that you do, the Thinking to Succeed project bolts on and improves everybody's life around it. And in fact, I'm even taking it up a notch where I'm working with Rusty down in San Diego with his company, and we're actually doing things with his employees, and creating kind of like a Thinking to Succeed corporate project. And so how would that look, and what would we do, and how would we improve it, and setting goals for the company, and letting everybody be involved, and then letting them write their own goals of how they're going to help the company achieve those things. And all of you guys listening, if you have employees, why would you not do that? Let me tell you this. If you have employees, start doing this tomorrow. You don't need January 1st. All you need is a Monday. That's it. So start doing this tomorrow. When they come in, go, look, as soon as you clock in, you've got 2 jobs that you've got to do now. All right. There's the first 2 things that you do when you get in, you clock in. Because once they clock in, they're yours, right? So when they clock in, they got to write down 2 things on a board that you put right next to the time clock. The first thing is their long-term goal of how themselves and your company build something amazing together. Meaning it could be, I helped XYZ company develop a new technology that creates an opportunity for both of us, and I've made over $100,000 so far on this. Now, that's something where it's put in place, right? That's the way you write it, all of that. Let's say you're like, well, I work at LA Fitness and I'm a trainer there. Great. I've become the #1 top-rated trainer in LA Fitness. These are real simple goals that you can have, right? Number 2 is the task that you're going to do that day to help get you closer to that goal. So it could be, I'm going to do 10 minutes worth of reading on this or that, or I'm going to watch this video, or I'm going to learn this, little things that you can do. So 1 goal, 1 task. Goal is big term, task is that day. These are small things. Now, let's say you work for somebody else, then you do it. You want to be a manager? Write down, I'm a manager. I'm a manager here. I'm a manager here. I'm a manager here. You're going to start acting like one. And let me tell you, you're never going to get put as a manager until you become a manager. I promise that. They don't hire people who aren't managers already. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have the title of a manager. It just means you have to be a leader. And that's what this is all about. It's all about you becoming a leader, right? So life is a result of what you do. I wrote that. I love it. Here's the task. Excuse me, man. Here is the task list for this series right here. These are the important choices that you have to make to become that, to improve your life and become your version 2.0. All right. The first thing is going to be, you need to join the challenge. If you haven't joined the challenge yet, guys, it's not hard. It's absolutely free. Go join the challenge. You can go to c2crea.com/21-day challenge. It's that easy. Or go to PETES21daychallenge.com. You can do that too. PETES challenge, Pete's21daychallenge.com. I don't know. I am having a real issue here. So, and let me tell you this, if you guys are watching the video right now, Scott, this is what you can do every day. What you guys see on my screen, you're going to see on the replay. Now, the other part that you don't see, that you will see on the replay, is those two big boxes on the bottom that you guys can see right now. Those will have not only my email, but it'll also have our website in it and everything else. So on the bottom of the screen, you guys can always get my email and our website and go check them out. But I will also put the 21-day challenge link down there too, so you guys can go ahead and copy and paste that. But it's c2creia.com/21-day challenge. That one's the easiest one for me to just keep saying over and over again. Next thing, you're going to start writing your goals for the next day right before you go to bed. That way you have time to do it. All right. And then you have all night to dream about the solutions. And I love that because we solve problems in our sleep. We do. Have you ever woken up and you're like, oh my gosh, that is the best idea? Well, why don't you start writing down what you want to do? And all of a sudden, you're going to start getting ideas of how you can do it. For instance, I had a company back when I was in college, and it was called Good Vibrations. And I installed car alarms and car stereos. And it was right around when Marky Mark had his song out, Good Vibrations. I literally woke up in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh my God, Good Vibrations. That's the name of the company. And so that's what I named it. I've thought of so many things, come up with so many solutions in the middle of the night. So what better time to write what you want to do in life than right before you go to bed and dream about the solutions. All right. Then you in the morning, write down a task list of 5 things. All right. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and write the task list down the night before as well. I think that's in round 2. That's what we're going to start doing. But you need to write down a task list. You need to have that task list with you the next day so you can remember these little things, right? If you don't get a task, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. You move it to the next day's task list, but it's always there right in front of you. All right. And then join one of our 2 Facebook groups. They're super easy. You can go to, there you go. It's Pete'sChallengePage.com. That'll take you to our Facebook page. Or you can search us on Facebook as well. If you just search Pete Asmus, it should pop up a whole bunch of different things. And we have a women's challenge page and we have a all challenge page. So you can do either one. It's really up to you. I just want to take away any excuses possible of people going, well, I'm not comfortable putting it up in front of everybody. All right. And if you're a woman, then great. You can do the women's only page. And that way you don't have to put it up in front of the entire world. And the women's only page, by the way, is also closed. So nobody can even see what's in it. That's the other difference between that page and the 21-day challenge page, because the challenge page is an open page. The women's page is closed. So whatever you write, nobody can see, not your boss, not your spouse, nobody else. All right. All right. Here's our task of the week. This week is what, man, I've been talking forever. This week is what we're going to be doing. All right. So first thing that you're going to do is you guys are going to say 2 things in the mirror. I'm just going to shut this off. You guys are going to say 2 things in the mirror that you guys are struggling with every day. All right. You're going to say 2 things in the mirror that you're struggling with in the morning, meaning you're going to say 2 things that you struggle with every day. You're going to say a positive version of those in the morning. I think that one made sense. Here's an example. I.e., let's say you wanted to lose 10 pounds by eating better. All right. And you kind of have this low self-esteem. So here's a really easy one. I've lost 10 pounds from eating healthier because I care about what happens to me because I am worth it. And that's easy. You just look right in the mirror and you just say, look, I've lost 10 pounds from eating healthier because I care about me and I care what, I don't know. I don't think I said it exactly. I care what happens to me and I'm worth it. Right. And you keep saying that and you're going to start taking actions during the day. Like you're going to be reaching for a Snickers going, oh man, if I eat that Snickers, that's not what the thin version of me does. That's not what the 2.0 version of me does. The 2.0 version of me doesn't grab a Snickers. The 2.0 version of me grabs an apple. And so that's what I'm going to do. And you're going to start making different decisions because choices are what create the results of our life. Ooh, choices are what create the results of our life. Choices are what create the results of our life. Choices. See, you guys just witnessed it right there. Choices are what create the, well, what did I say? Choices are what create the, man, this is how fast you can lose them. Okay, I'll have to replay this unless one of you guys are really cool and just write down what I just said over here on the side and then I can remember it. Also, if you guys have any questions, you can write them down over there on the side where it says questions. Not a problem. What time is it right now? Where are we at on the marker for this thing? It's being recorded we're right at about an hour mark. Probably, right? Okay, so 60-minute mark is where I said it, so I'm not looking through this whole thing looking for it. And then the next one you could write could be, I'm a better person today than I was yesterday because I'm doing things every day to improve who I am, right? And if I keep saying that, I'm a better person today than I was yesterday because I do things every day to improve who I am. If you care about who you are, I'm going to go right back to what I said in the beginning, right? If you care about your word, if you care about what you say, then this is going to be an impact because you're not going to want to be a liar. Remember what I said to you? You got to make sure that you aren't lying to yourself. So if I say I'm a better person today than I was yesterday, that means today I've got to make decisions that are better than I made yesterday. This is the task of the week. I want you guys all to do this week. It's not hard. It takes 2 seconds in the morning. Look in the mirror, create at night. Tonight, when we're done with this webinar, write down your two statements. If you're brave enough and if you're awesome enough, put them out there, put them on Hootsuite, write them down, take a picture of them and put them out there and tag me and tag the 21-day challenge, tag Journey to Success. If you're not, that's okay too. Just write them down. And then every morning, have them taped to your mirror. Super easy. You get up, look right in the mirror, read it to yourself. Boom, you're done. That's an easy task. Again, you want to start changing your life. You don't have to make big, giant steps. Little, tiny slivers every single day. I love the fact that we have 43 people on it. We've actually grown, even though we're an hour and 5 minutes into this, we've grown. And I appreciate you guys because I know that must be some of you guys going out there and putting, hey guys, join this webinar. Come on, this is off the chart. Pete's on fire tonight. I'm just making things up that you guys should be saying right now. But I'm sure that that's what you're doing, which is why we have more people on. And I want to tell you thank you. I appreciate that. I hope that this is impacting you. I hope you guys are seeing what we're here about, what I'm about, that I care about the results. I care about where you're going in life. I care about you attaining what you want, but there's no way for me to help you get there if you don't write down your goals and if you don't tell me. There's no way for Scott to help anybody if you don't tell him. There's no way for Ivan to help anybody if you don't tell him. We can only do for you what you ask, right? And I mean, I've got this sick video I'm going to be putting together. I just had to get Scott's logo done. And I still don't even know if I really like it, but I have the hands holding the thing, but I've got this crazy cool video thing that I'm going to put to it because, man, Scott's webinars, guys, on Monday nights is crazy. I've been doing this for over a year. Scott's been doing this for freaking, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I think this is his 4th week now. And he's got almost as many people as I have on my webinars, he has on his. That's how off the chain his things are. So if I were you guys, if you want to be involved in real estate, you need to be on that Monday night call, period. I mean, that's just all there is to it. If you're looking to be involved in real estate and you don't know what you're doing, you need to be on the Monday night call, period. If you haven't been listening, go back and listen to all the past ones. That's the awesome thing. You can go onto iTunes and search Pete Asmus and you can find out all of our downloads. You can get Journey to Success. You can get the Bird Dog and Call, any of our webinars, you can get downloaded right to your computer every single week when I post them. If you're, if you're anybody, but especially if you're a woman wanting to get into becoming an entrepreneur, I'm going to talk about these later, so I don't know why I'm talking about them now, but I just have a lot of passion. I want you guys to enjoy these webinars. Get involved in them. Get on them. Ask questions. That's the thing about Justin's webinar on Wednesday night and Scott's that they're telling me is awesome is that you guys are all asking a ton of questions, which is great. Okay, let's go. Questions are the key. Let's move this party along. We talked about the first week, what is communication? Then we had verbal communication. And now we're going to be talking about nonverbal, which is really what I've been doing a lot of tonight. All of you guys listening to me right now, you only have one aspect. It's like very two-dimensional. But when we look at what you guys can see from the visual aspect of the camera, what do you guys think? And I know for some sort of a reality, it must be the fact that a lot of you guys like it because a lot of you guys tune in here every single week. And so I know that means that you guys are getting a lot more out of the visual part. It's not to say that there's nothing good about just the auditory, but when we get the visual with it, it's like we get the complete picture. That's why when you're talking about Hollywood films, They're films. They have moving pictures, right? Because we're more drawn in and we're more emotionally attached to that than just to vocals. Otherwise, we'd still be listening to all these plays on the radio, but that's not what we do, right? So when we talk about nonverbal communication, when you guys are walking out there in your daily life, what does your billboard say? What do you guys look like on a daily basis? When you go out there to network, to communicate with other people, do you look like you just woke up and didn't really care about what was going on? Or do you look like you're ready to play and take action? Do you get dressed up so you feel better, right? What is it that, whoa, why did it, wait, oh no, that was right. What does your billboard say? Yeah, okay. How do you speak to yourself? And then what is your intent? You got to realize that when you're talking to yourself, even the way that you talk to yourself, because we ask ourselves questions, right? Should I do this? Should I do that? How are we talking to ourselves though? Because we even envision ourselves talking, don't we? Think about it for a second. When you talk, don't you envision how you would be saying what you were going to say? When you envision somebody else talking to you, don't you, excuse me, don't you envision not only the words, but the intent, the facial expressions that they would have? So what are you doing differently? Are you still using those bad words? Are you still saying can't? Are you still saying should? Are you still saying try? Or have you changed? Are you starting to say will, do? Are you starting to say must? Are you starting to use empowering words that get you from point A to point B, not disempowering words that take you to a point F for fail? Right? And not because you didn't try, not because of that, because you tried all day long, which is exactly why you failed. You got to stop trying to do things. Try is just an excuse. It really is. Try is this really pretty version of excuse. I tried. That is in itself an excuse because you're saying why you didn't do it. I didn't do it, but I tried. I tried. So that's an excuse. I tried and it didn't happen. So you understand, right? Well, if you tried and it didn't work and it was buy a new car, but you have a car, then yeah, that's fine. But what if it was pay rent and you weren't able to pay rent and so now you're homeless? What if it was to make your car payment and you didn't make your car payment? See, the bank doesn't care when you say I tried. Bill collectors, they don't care when you say I tried. They care about results. And a lot of times the emotional part in us, right? Well, why doesn't everybody care about the way I feel? And how come they don't understand what I'm going through? You know why? Because people don't. We all care about results, even you. When it really comes down to it, look at the parable back in the Bible, right? Where they talk about the guy who owes all this money to the king, right? And the king says, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to let you go. And then he goes back home and then runs up and he's a bill collector. So he goes to these people that owe him money and they don't pay him. And so what does he do? He throws them in jail. And then the king hears about this and goes, what are you doing? Like, I let you off and now you're freaking out and putting them in jail. That's crazy. And so he gets thrown in jail. What are you doing that follows that same path? How are you affecting your life in a negative way? What are you saying that's disempowering, that's taking you to that? Instead of going to point A, you're going to point F. Because it's time to stop. It's time to stop. It's time to stop trying. It's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop saying, I'm here and it's okay, because it's not. It's not. Where you are is not okay. Where you are needs to change right now. You have the power to do that. Tomorrow is January 1st for you. Tomorrow is your next day. Tomorrow is Monday. That's all you need. You just keep saying, all I need is Monday. All I need is Monday. I don't need January 1st. I don't need another month. I don't need another week. I don't need another day. I need Monday. That's it. Say, I'm done. I'm done being in this place. Because until you create enough pain, and I can't wait till we get to talk about that chapter, but until you create enough pain, you're fine right where you are. You're fine doing what you're doing. Because you haven't created enough pain to change. You haven't created enough pain to say I'm done. Because if I was sitting there just bam, 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 just slapping you in the face, right? Just just slapping you silly. You're not going to continue to take that. You're going to move. You're going to punch me back. You're going to do something, but you're certainly not going to go. And I know you guys just laughed at that, right? So why do you do that in your life? Why do you say I'm right here, it's okay, and let life just cold cock you every single day? I mean, reach back from Mississippi and just lay you out. And you pretend like there's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim of my circumstances. Man, you know what you are? You're the white people in the movie, in those scary movies. You just keep staying in the house. Get out. The ghost told you 50 times to get out. You didn't listen. Now you're being thrown all over the house, right? And you're going, I don't get it. This house is possessed. Hell yes, it told you to get out. You didn't want to listen. So guess what happened? Now you've got man, this is a good section. I like this. But it's true. So stop acting like that. Stop being okay with where you are when where you are is not where you want to be. Stop thinking that that's an all right thing. Start living out loud. Start becoming the person that you can be. Start becoming that 2.0 version of you. Guys, you have it within you right now, right here. You don't need anything but you. That's why the goal challenge is all about you writing your goal. It's not me making them up for you. It's you making them up for you. Because you literally have all the answers that you need in your head. You have all the answers that you need in your kabasa right up here. All of them. But you're too afraid to take action. You're too afraid to take effort. You're too afraid to stand on your own and say, you know what? This is a good idea. I know. It's like showing up to a board meeting where you're like, I am not in the right place. But what you don't realize is every single person in there is going, I'm not in the right place. We're all the same. It's all about perception. Are people perceiving you as uncomfortable and inadequate because that's how you're acting? And you could go, well, no, I'm not acting like that. All right. Do you think that you can do this? Well, not really. Well, hello. You know what it is then? People are seeing the inconsistencies. They're seeing that you don't look them in the eye when you start. You'll be talking to them about this, and then they ask you a question. Oh, and you look away because your words don't match your actions, because you're not living the authentic you. And that's what it's time to do. It's time to become you. It's time to become your version of Superman. It's time to shed your skin. It's time to take off that suit and become you, the authentic you, the you that everybody will love, but nobody knows. Nobody knows because they're riding shotgun to you, because you're dwarfing them every time, because you're telling them to be quiet, because you're muting them, because you're not getting out there and believing that you are good enough, that you are perfect. I don't know how to talk to sellers. Well, then start talking to them. What do you mean? How are you ever going to learn to talk to sellers unless you do it? Yeah, but I don't know what to do. Well, then start doing it. Just start. But I don't know what to do. Then get on Monday night's call. That's all I can tell you. I know that I learned everything the hard way. I learned everything by just doing it. And then getting kicked in the face and getting told I'm stupid and getting told that's wrong and getting told I don't know what I'm doing and going, you're right. So what am I supposed to be doing then? Like, what do I do? Well, I don't have time. Well, then shut up. If you're not going to tell me how to do it right, I'm going to keep doing this. Well, I don't want you to do it. Well, then what do I do? Well, if you do it like this and this and this, it'll be, okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for showing me what to do. Now I can do that. I don't take no for an answer. If somebody puts a roadblock up in front of me, I'm gonna find a way around it, through it, over it, under it. I don't care. In fact, it's more exciting to me because now it's a challenge. Now when I get on the other side, I get to, now when I'm looking at this, I'm excited because this right here shows me that everything I've been doing for the last year means something. Man, that thing's heavy too. You could kill somebody with that. And you know it's a good award if you could kill somebody with it, right? Maybe we should have steak ward knives. Anyways, the thing is, you're never going to get an award if you don't become the person that earns them. You're never going to get recognized if you don't become the person that gets recognized. When I started thinking that, you know what, I want to be on stage and introduced with these words. These words, without him, none of this would be possible. And I mean in front of like thousands of people, which means I've got to start doing some amazing things to get that to become a reality. But I'm willing to do it. And I'm willing to take the slow road if it takes. Because the reality is, in 5 years, I'm going to be 5 years older. The only difference is, am I going to be 5 years older living in this house? Or am I going to be 5 years older living in Dana Point on the beach, paddle boarding with Scott Travis in the afternoon? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be in Dana Point paddle boarding with Scott Travis. I'm going to be out on my boat. I'm going to be out. I'm going to be living life and having fun. And I'm going to be having a ton of people around me and masterminding. I'm going to be doing what David Fagan's doing. Man, I'm going to get a boat and bring out a ton of great people on that every weekend and have mastermind groups. How amazing is that? You're putting these insane people that are usually on their phone like 24/7 or caught up, and you take them out on a boat where their phone doesn't work. So what are they left to do? Talk. The old-fashioned way. To get to know each other. To look into each other's eyes and find out who they are. Man, I am so hungry right now. And find out, I can just smell food and I've been talking, but I love where we're going. This is probably one of my favorite webinars that I've done. I think there's a lot of AI in this, a lot of actionable information. And I think that hopefully it's got you guys closer to understanding who I am and how I operate and understanding how that can apply to your life as well. And that we're all the same. You know what I mean? We all do things. And create opportunities. And we all have insecurities, but it's about what do we do when those happen? So the other question is, what does your billboard say to others, right? Because here's the thing. If your billboard is saying one thing to you and something completely different than other people, you're going to have to address that. And again, it comes down to not lying. It's like taking verbal cues. How many times are you in a conversation and somebody goes up, and you're not stopping talking. You're not finding an endpoint because you're so wrapped up in what you're saying. You're not listening to the other person wanting to share a point or wanting to do something. And then you're all, wait, were you saying something? They're like, it's okay. The moment's passed, right? How fun do you think that is for that other person if the moment keeps passing? Pretty soon they're going to find somebody else to talk to where the moment doesn't pass, where they feel included. A conversation is a back and forth thing, right? It isn't a one-sided thing. This is a one-sided thing. This is a webinar. This is a podcast. This is an instructional, an educational, an inspirational message, right? It's not a conversation. We're going to do that in a second. And I hope some of you guys have some questions and stuff we can talk about. But it's about becoming a better communicator. You want more out of life? Learn how to ask for it. Learn how to ask for it in a positive and amazing way. All right. And what are your first impressions when you come off? Are you talking fast? Are you aggressive? Are you helpful? When people leave you, do they think, man, that's somebody I really want to be around and work with? I make sure that one of my main goals every time I meet somebody is I want, when I leave, that they want more of me. They want to be around me more. They want to talk to me more. They want more to do with me. I want to leave them. And you know how I found the best way to do that is to listen to them talk. That's why I love interviewing now. I become an interviewer everywhere I am. I mean, David Fagan, we were on his boat and he's like, I don't even have to talk anymore. Like Pete asks all the questions because I want to get people to talk because I know people love hearing themselves talk. I love hearing myself talk. So I know they do. And in the beginning, I want them to feel really good about me. So the best way I know to do that is to really be an active listener with them. Is to actively listen to what they're saying, be engaged, comment on what they're saying. But it means they have to stop every once in a while for me to put my input in and then to ask them another question and let them go in another direction. Becoming a great networker is really letting everybody else talk and finding out what they do and how you can help them do something that they do. I promise you keep doing that and watch how your life changes for the better. All right. And then last, how do you create the billboard you want? I think we just kind of talked about that, right? You create that billboard by the questions that you ask yourself. The questions you ask, what is it possible? How do I create a different billboard? That's going to give you answers. Then you take those answers and you ask another question. You can just keep exponentially jumping off of that, right? When I wanted to start doing videos and I wanted to really take it up and well, what do I got to do? I got to learn Adobe Adobe Premiere. And there's stuff in After Effects. I haven't even touched After Effects. I don't even know what that does, but I know it does amazing things. I just don't know what that does yet. I'm still learning because I've become overwhelmed. So I get overwhelmed, then I get to the point where, okay, I've got this now. And then boom, I overwhelm myself again. And then I get to the point where I got this. And then boom, I overwhelm myself again. Get excited about becoming overwhelmed. Get excited about doing things wrong and having to learn. Like Scott, I don't know what it was, like 3 weeks ago, right? When he first started putting up his webinar. One day, seriously, all freaking day, I kept getting texts. This is BS, man. This is bullshit. And here's a guy, he's a millionaire. This is a guy who's selling one of his businesses for 7 figures. A millionaire who's putting up his own podcast because I'm like, man, you got to help. You got to do some of it. And he spent all day and still didn't get it done. I had to actually do it. The next week, spent, I don't know, way less time, got 2 things done, couldn't do the third one. This week, he's going to have them all. Now, that's because he cared about the result. He got excited about becoming overwhelmed. He won't tell you he got excited because he was really pissed off when it all happened. But now it's much different. Scott's evolved in so many ways when it comes to technology, but it's because he cared about learning it. He could be one of the other guys that go, oh, I'm just stupid and all I know how to do is press here and I've got people that help me do all that stuff. Well, great. You look like you're a great person and that's awesome. But you know what? To me, that's an idiot move. That means that you're not really learning how to do everything. That means when you ask people to do something, you don't know what it takes. You don't know how difficult it is or how easy it is. So how are you going to tell somebody if they took too long or didn't take long enough? You should know how to do every single aspect of your company and your business before you hire anybody to take it over. You want to talk about how embezzlement happens? That's how embezzlement happens. Because somebody doesn't know what they're doing. And they have all the trust in everybody else around them, but they don't have a clue about what's happening in their own business. Learn what's happening in your own business. You want bad things not to happen? Make sure you know how to do everything. Make sure you have everything under control. Does that mean that it all happens overnight? No. It takes time. But it's slow. It's okay. It doesn't all have to be overnight. That's the key to success. It doesn't have to be right now. It's about being patient. It's about learning. It's about growing with everybody. Look, if something's not growing at the fast enough speed for you, that's okay. What you can do is while you're waiting for that to get to the point for you to jump back in and get involved, start focusing on something else. That's why we have 5 goals in each section. There's no way that somebody's holding you up on every single one. There's no way. You can do something. So shift focus. And then when that becomes available, shift it back again. It's easy. It's not simple, but it's easy. I mean, it's simple, but it's not easy. That's what it is. It's simple, but it's not easy because simply you do this, this, and this. This plus this equals this. Yes. The hard part is getting through all the BS. The hard part is getting through the people that cheat. The hard part is getting through the people that lie to you. The hard part is getting through the who do you believe and who do you trust and what about this person said this and all that. That's the hard part. The easy part is the steps that it takes to get there. You need this, you need this, you need this. Look, you want to be successful in any business, sell something for more than it costs you to make it or buy it or whatever. That's simple. Why is it so difficult? Why do so many businesses fail? One, I will bet you, oh my gosh, I will bet you 100 to 1 that 90% of the businesses that fail don't write their goals every day. I would bet you 99% of the businesses that fail do not write their goals every day. Seriously, I'd even go to a 99.9. Like I just can't imagine one business writing their goals every day and failing. So writing their goals every day and failing and having a business plan. No way. No way. So you want to have a successful business? Get a great business plan and write your goals every single day. So they're always on the top of your mind. They're always right in front of you. You're not going to forget them. There's no way to forget them. Right. And here's the reality. Here's your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is all fine and good. But the fact is that the moment you break it, you've created another comfort zone. So you've got to break it again and break it again and break it again and break it again. It's a consistent loop. You're always going to be growing. So with that, we're already way into this. I'm going to come back to question and answers. I'm going to talk again real quick just about these conference or these things that we have coming up. Monday, we're going to be doing a replay tomorrow because I'm going to be on a plane traveling to Portland. So Monday night, though, Scott will be doing his bird dogging call. Make sure that you guys register for that. All you got to do is go to c2crea.com/webinars. Actually, just go to c2crea.com right now. That's easy. c2crea.com right there on the right side. You'll see all the webinars. You can sign up for all of them. It's super, super, super easy. On Tuesday, I will be broadcasting live from the women's conference and talking to different attendees that are there. And it's going to be the Oregon's Women's Conference, by the way. On Tuesday evening, I'm canceling the Experts Corner because obviously I'll still be in Portland. Women, I'm going to be doing a wrap up on the conference. There's also going to be something else happening that day, which will be pretty cool. And then the Power of SEO that night. Thursday, we have Marco Santarelli on the radio show. Ivan Obron's Money Matters Thursday night. Friday, we've got Brian Ellis, who's got, he's just an amazing guy. He talks all about retirement stuff and women, entrepreneurs, and real estate that night. And if you guys missed this Friday's, it was great. I'm going to be putting that one up later tonight as well. So that's what we got going on. These are all the different pictures for them, which are pretty cool. There's our radio show, 10 to 11 a.m. every day of the week. We are Allergic to Average Radio, period. You can go to allergictoravageradio.com and you can see all of our past podcasts and everything else. That is our phone numbers that you can call into and all of that, making it super easy. 760-931-1604 is our live 9. If you guys have an idea right now and you just want to leave a message, 888-570-7464. That's that easy. Again, you do not need January 1st. All you need is Monday. Now, if any of you guys have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and do that part right now. I'll do some Q&A real fast, and then we're going to be out of here. So I appreciate all of you guys all week hanging in there, writing your goals, becoming something more. All of you guys sticking around with me this 90 minutes in doing this. I hope you guys had a great time. Let me see if you guys wrote anything. Nope, nobody's written anything either. So, all right, cool. Well, if you guys don't have anything, then that's okay as well, because I've got to finish packing and get ready to leave tomorrow morning. So with that, I want to thank you guys for everything. And like always,
this is how we roll. We hanging around, singing out everything on the radio.
There you guys go. Every Sunday night, we are here, 6 p.m. Do not forget to make that happen, because we are all about empowering you. We are Allergic to Average. Join us every day on the happiest hour on earth, because without you, there is no us. You put the Y in our success. Have a great night and go make something happen. Bye, you guys.